What's going on, everyone? What's going on, everyone? So, I can't even go into it. Like, you don't understand. Like, you can call me anything you want to call. What's up, Kwang douches? You can call me anything you want to call me, but it's not gonna stick because, like, if you actually like look into me, you'll find basically that my shit don't stink. Is the best way I can say it. Like, my shit doesn't stink, and everyone thinks that's odd, so they give me like specially formulated sprinkle on top of your shit to make sure that it stinks so people don't get suspicious stuff. That's the best way I can describe that metaphor. Okay? So, yeah. And apparently, like, probably, look, this is the craziest thing. I watch a lot of, or I used to watch a lot, I still do, watch a lot of James Cagney movies. And, like, in the 1930s, James Cagney was like a bad guy. But now, if you go around acting like James Cagney, everyone thinks you're like a saint. No bullshit. Kind of like when I make that joke about Buddy Holly being Satan music, because in the 1950s, Buddy Holly was the devil's music. You know, not Weezer playing the song Buddy Holly, actually Buddy Holly. Like every day, it's a getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, 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 hey. Buddy Holly, right? And then what was it? Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue. Pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue, my Peggy, woo, my Peggy Sue. You can do anyone, you know, like Tiffany Young, Tiffany Young, Tiffany, Tiffany, Tiffany. Oh, Jessica Jung, Jessica Jung. Actually, no, let's. Who's a really hot one? Friend who is. In your last little thingy you just did, you look a lot more mature. Yeah, I'd grab that. Yeah, friend who is pretty fucking hot. She's still like a little bit. Oh, dude, Gloria's song is getting pretty hot too. But I'm afraid if I talk about that, then they're gonna start stalking her again. Because I remember that for a minute they were like stalking Gloria's song and yelling at her and shit like that. Literally, someone was randomly leaving really mean comments on Gloria's song's webpage because I would say nice things in Gloria's song and they would like yell at Gloria's song about it. So I had to stop commenting on Gloria's song. Which is like, as long as Tiffany is yelling at me, it's fine. She's not taking it out on someone else. I really don't give a shit. But yeah, Buddy Holly used to be considered, the devil's music. Crazy, right? What was I talking about? Start taking bong hits. Oh yeah, I haven't even watched it. I'll watch it here in a minute. Cookie Light put out a video, and they talk about how people are mad at Karina for having a boyfriend. Maybe they really are dating. If people are mad at her, then maybe they really are dating. Because like people, when look, I'm not trying to get into it. Nick Chung and Tiffany Wang were not really dating. That was a studio collab thing. I'm even of the opinion that the thing about her having the drama in Japan, all that bullshit, was also staged so that way they could get a bunch of attention. Because what happened, right? She dated Nick Chun. She went to Japan, had that drama about posting the Japan flag. They broke up. Oh, look at that! She released Just Dance All Night, or I just whatever the fuck it is. Anyways, so everyone's so happy that happened, they're still posting like bots about that. So if everyone's mad that Katrina is actually dating someone, maybe they're actually dating. Anyways, look. Also, I'm trying to find out if Tiffany used my passport to marry us in Utah, because there's some. It says no, but it also says it can take up to a year or more for the database to update. Because there's some thingy where a Utah based thingy is advertising marriage from anywhere in the world online, but in America because the priest is in America or wherever the fuck it is. And all you need is a passport. I'll deal with that if I have to. Anyways, what was I talking about? Stupid K-pop bullshit. I can't believe this is still going on. Anyways, I think she's just trying to get me like attention because all her K-pop fans are broke. Um, the money thing. I really look. The reason why this cannot look what I it's starting to me. It's starting to seem like Tiffany was trying to like I don't know introduce me to the Joseon side of her family, and no, because Joseon is anti-American from what I can tell, which doesn't make sense if you have a military division from America guarding your ass from the crazy ass cousins you have who are just north of you firing missiles just past you into the ocean. Then again, when you hear shit like that, it's like Tiffany is doing that to me. She's like, "Oh, I fired a missile just past you. Why? Because I like you, and I want to control everything you do, but I can't, so I'm gonna fire a missile past you." Fucking Joseon bullshit. Anyways, um, the money thing. I don't care about the money. Like, if Tiffany just wanted the money, I would have just given it to her. No, there's something involved where like she was trying to like earn rank in her crazy cult she's in, or like she was like, my uncle needs to launder some money and I need help. I highly doubt it was like, oh, at first she tried to say she got scammed also, and I was like, oh, well then, okay, well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and I'll hunt them down for the both of us. And then like the next day she was like, hey, let's invest again. Here's a brand new fake website, and I was like, I'm never gonna trust you. And I like even reported that to the feds, and they were like, Joseph bribes. Look, you don't understand. Like, there's a U.S. No, there's a U.S. and a worldwide cyber challenge going on right now, and the Secret Service is like, we need more blockchain experts because that's how obvious they can't flat out say that all this is going on because Joe Biden is taking bribes, but they can be like, once Joe Biden is gone, this will never happen again. That's the best thing they can do right now. Anyways, so look, because she's Stephanie, the girl I met at Night for Freedom, and I was drunk and said all those things. Yeah, I've resigned my fate to feeding the dragon. If you read that book I have on Not My Facebook, Skeeve goes to the Bizarra Diva, Night for Freedom. He meets all the merchants and the devils and all that bullshit, and he's like, I'm not going to get involved in any of these devils because I've heard that they're really tricky and all that bullshit, and they'll come at you at angles you don't expect. Okay? Then I met some cute little Korean bitch in big old dorky glasses, and I was like, this bitch is perfect. There's no way she can be involved in social media at all. She's perfect. It's like a rare flower has just bloomed at midnight, and no one's seen it yet but me. This is fantastic. I'm gonna scoop this bitch up. That bitch turned out to have 16 million followers on Instagram. So like right off the bat, she was lying to me. Whatever. Okay, you don't understand. You don't understand. I have been doing other shit, and the whole time she's just been like, I can't believe he's doing other shit. This is bullshit. Anyways, so in um the book, he's walking by the dragon stand. He's like, I've just wanted to look at the dragons. I don't want to, I just want to look at the dragons. I've heard about dragons. I come from a different dimension. I just want to look at the dragons. I'm not going to touch any of the dragons. Okay? And then he looks at the dragons. He's like, look at that dragon. That's a cute little dragon. I'm going to go pet it. He pets the dragon. And as he pets the dragon bites off part of his sleeve and it eats it. And as he's leaving, um, they're like, you owe us money. And he's like, fuck you talking about? And they're like, you owe us money. And this is basically like the black market part of the Bazaar at Diva. The Bazaar at Diva, okay, so fuck. In the Myth Inc. world, Skeeve is a self-made magician turned bajillionaire because it turns out that all the experts in the world, it's basically based off of Manhattan. All the ex in the 80s, all the experts in the world are actually full of shit. And Skeeve only knows how to light a candle and do minimum levitation. But because he can actually do those and not just bullshit, people think he's like a genius magician. Then he solves a bunch of problems by basically playing Dungeons and Dragons, but with in real life. And then yeah, like in the first book, he has to take out an entire army, but with 7 people. And he's like, well, this is impossible. So what I'm going to do, he finds the best archer ever. There's like some legendary archer. Look, I can't remember his name, but we'll just call him Robin Hood. And there's all these like tales of Robin Hood. And he, no matter where he goes, he can't find Robin Hood. Then he finally goes to this one bar, which is like the last lead he has. And basically, the person who's been giving him all the leads has been following him to all the bars, and turns out that's Robin Hood. But Robin Hood is like 80 years old, and all the legends are about him from like 40 years ago or like 60 years ago. So he's like, great. Well, at least I found Robin Hood. So he's like, we just won't tell anyone that you're old. We'll just keep on using your pizzazz of your legend and whatnot. So since one of the few things he can do is light a candle, he basically lights a bunch of candles and has Robin Hood shoot a bunch of arrows through the candles, and then the candles catch on fire and like split into a bunch of arrows, and he tricks everyone into thinking he's got a whole army of Robin Hoods. That's just one of the things he does, right? Anyways, so um, he learns how to use magic, and then it's based off of the dimensional theory thing, where like there's one planet, but a bajillion alternate worlds of that planet. So he learns to like dimension hop to other planets. And Diva is a world where like basically a bunch of like aliens coexist with spiritual entities that like formed into what we would call devils, but they call devils, and they're not evil. They're just really, really good at bargaining, and you have to watch out because they will get you to sign away your soul and blood if you're not careful, and all that bullshit. Anyways, so that's where he's at, and he just wants to look at the dragons. He don't give a shit. He just wants to look at the dragons. That's one dragon. The baby dragon eats his sleeve. He's like, "Whoa, okay, I'll just get it. You owe me a shirt." And then he like starts to leave, right? But you don't owe me the shirt. You shouldn't do that. And then he like goes to leave, and they're like, "You owe us for a whole dragon." And he's like, "Bullshit! I just petted it." They're like, "Yeah, you fed it." Like, what do you mean I fed the dragon? It ate my shirt. You owe me for a shirt. And because like you're supposed to like haggle with them, or otherwise it's an insult. And then turns out that if you feed a dragon, it will bond to you, and then it's impossible to sell it. So they're actually doing him a favor by giving him the discount. And they're like, all we want is your life savings. And he's like, fuck. Well, I have this magical amulet, I guess technically is the equivalent of my life savings. Here you go. And they take it. And the amulet supposed to like show you who is wearing a disguise, but he had learned how to do that without the amulet by then anyways. And it's spoofing. Again, the guy who wrote this book was military intelligence back in the DARPANET days. But anyways, Tiffany's the dragon. Like I didn't mean to feed her. I was just like, I'm gonna fool around with the nun bitch. That's it. I didn't realize that I was feeding the dragon, but whatever. So I accept that. That's my fate. Like Gleep, the name of the dragon, actually comes in pretty handy in all of the books because wouldn't you know it, at least it's a dragon and all that bullshit. But this isn't the point. The point is there's a black market that is selling dragons. That's the way I see it. Like, great, I have a dragon. You can keep the money. I don't give a fuck. My phone's where's my phone? Fuck, my phone is charging. I made an extra $1,000 already. Like, I don't give a fuck about the money. What the fuck are you doing hanging out in the bazaar at Diva, the black market, with all these fucking crypto bullshit going on? Josin, Samsung Chaibol. Again, you don't understand. I met her at a political event. Okay? I'm even of the opinion that she was there to be one of those bitches who was like paid to talk to everyone and all that bullshit. Probably when I sponsored the event, Cernovich was like, "Well, he says he likes Tiffany. Let's bring Tiffany out here." So they bought her a ticket, right? Probably. I don't know. Uh, I wasn't there to fool around. I showed her the phone I was using to allegedly pick up PCAPs from every single person. And at the second night for Freedom, they literally had allegedly a bunch of Mossad intel agents there. That's why I switched my VPN to Israel, and I was like, "Hey guys, you can just get it for free that way, right?" Because I didn't give a fuck. I'm pretty fucking ballsy. Then I went out and I yelled at everyone, and then Jared Kushner copied me. It was pretty awesome. What's up, bro? I'd copy me too if I wasn't already me. Yeah. That's what I told some people were trying to psychoanalyze me. They were like, "How come you don't want to hang out with everyone? Don't you know that we like you and we want to get to know you better?" And I was like, "Yeah, if if I wasn't the best thing about being me is I can hang out with myself all day long. I get to know myself the best. Isn't that awesome?" They were like, "Arr." Anyways, um, uh, uh, I don't care about the money. Like, I'm glad friend who is like it's like they like think I'm mad, so they're like, "He's mad. Put out some friend who is." I was like, "I don't care. I don't. I'm look. If the economy is bad in America, it's 10 times as bad in Korea. If a bunch of hot models need some financial support, I'm glad to provide it. I don't want anything in return. I'm just glad to provide it. You should have just asked. The fact that the way you went about getting it involved some kind of oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I met her at a political party. All right. At a political party where I met people like that Ivan Railkin dude, who's a Green Beret, basically traitor to the country, who's been going out of the way to circumvent controls to make sure that a lot of shit goes bad in the country, and who, look, hate me, love me, whatever you want to say, I'm a subject matter expert, allegedly. So if I have an idea on how to make smart cities automated to make everyone more secure and standardize shit like that, which would bring us into the 21st century. We're still in the 20th century, if you ask me, and they don't want to do that. That's suspicious to me. Why don't you want to go to smart? Switzerland is doing smart cities. Singapore is doing smart cities. Hong Kong is doing smart cities. You got cities in Africa, like Libya, doing smart cities. Why isn't America doing smart cities? Because then we can't control everyone. They might find out that I spent 20 years in the military in some secret organization to circumvent the country. And I met Tiffany at one of those, I met Stephanie at one of those parties. And after we fooled around, the next day, instead of meeting her at the brunch like she was supposed to, there was some tall Asian motherfucker who wanted to know everything about me. And I started answering their questions, kind of like throwing them some red herrings and curveballs, because I thought that was mad suspicious. And that's probably the same motherfucker who set up all this bullshit with the bribes for Biden. Because if someone like Jared Kushner was at the parties like that, then there would probably be someone the equivalent on the Biden family. And if everyone at those parties is playing grab ass and talking and making deals with each other, probably someone set up a deal to bribe Joe Biden to allow them to steal crypto from the Americans. That's kind of like what happened with FTX, isn't it? That's what I care about. Tiffany, Sublime, Sunny, Su Young, Taeyeon. Well, Taeyeon, I'll lick your asshole later. But go and enjoy the money and have your shows. I don't give a fuck. It's just 100,000. She's upset That to me, it's only $100,000. She really thought she was going to steal all my money and control me. She thought she was going to steal $100,000 from me, and I would sign something, one of those Joseon and K-pop slave contracts where she could control me for 7 years. And I would put out her AI content, which I do for free, just to play along whenever I feel like it. And she was like, "No, you have to do that forever because I like it." No, no. Don't steal from people. What the fuck is with this Joseon bullshit? Like, Joe Biden is so corrupt. You have no idea. Like, and the fact that this is some kind of like political espionage bullshit, it's like the lamest one. K-pop. K-pop. I knew it was it's like when you see the Mormons are like spies. I mean the missionaries are like they don't even know they're spies. Missionaries go, they knock on the door, they're gathering information. Knock on the door, how many people live here? Can we convert you to Jesus Christ? Okay, that's just our cover. Okay, nice to meet you. And then once a week, they go talk to the bishop, who more often than not has a real, like, Mormons volunteer their time. They have their own jobs. They just happen to be federal agents in the CIA most of the time, right? And all that bullshit. So then the missionaries go back and report to them, and they're like, "Oh, I knocked on 50 doors this week, and Mrs. So-and-so has 3 sons, and one of the sons, Billy's in a gang, and Tommy's in medical school." Like, okay. And then they give all that shit to, like, the feds, and they're like, "Let me run a trace on Tommy and Billy." Okay, Tommy pays a lot in taxes. We'll leave him alone. Billy might be useful if we do this to him. And that's how they are. So why did I meet Tiffany? Why did I meet Stephanie at one of those things and Stephanie turned out to be Tiffany? That's what's really annoying. I fed a dragon. Joseon.